And welcome back to the finals of Amazon's Pride. Here we are with Grandmaster Alexandra Kosteniuk. And look at the players Grandmaster Katerina Lagno and International Master Gulnar Mamadova. Those two are so strong, both finalists of the main event, if I can say so, of Women's Speed Chess Championship 2021. Alexandra, who do you think is gonna win the whole thing?
Well, I already mentioned at the beginning that I believe that Katerina is a favorite. But again, it's been how many hours? They started to play so many hours ago, right? They started their tournament at 5 p.m. Central European time, right? And now it's 8:30, so it's 3.5 hours of such drama behind, and they're getting tired, of course. And it's all about being able to hold this concentration till the very end. But we're gonna know the name of the winner really soon. I think these girls are quite happy already to be here and now, to be in the finals. So so yeah, let's wait and see. The games are going to start in a few seconds. The game, and the final is the same format, right? So two games, two
Yeah,
games
that
of
is
three
correct.
plus one, followed in case of a tie by a tie-break match with two games 1+1, and we see another French defense. So many French on Caracan today. Okay, but a lot of French, at least in Katerina's games. Let's check. Where is this? Okay, this one. It's also um, some kind of exchange variation. We can call it a delayed exchange variation in the French, where white plays knight c3, and only after knight bishop b4 takes on d5, trying to um, get more out of the opening because they consider taking on d5 a little bit more less precise. But I think this position is very nice to play in the Blitz game. White has several plans, and we'll see. It's interesting to see where Black is going to castle.
Oh, yeah. Normally, you sometimes want to wait until your opponent's castle and then to choose the side whenever you are a attacker today or you're solid.
But White is making this b4 move, saying, okay, if you want to castle alongside, I'm ready. I'm expecting you there. And of course, in this exchange variation, normally we see similar, castles. Black goes to the king side. Okay, let's wait and see what's going to happen. The knight, white knight, is heading to f5.
Okay, this is actually a very typical way of playing it. Also, I've heard knights on f5, c4, f4, and f5 and c5 are the strongest, and the wherever you want to put them on the chessboard.
Oh, yeah, but in that case, it's kind of hanging over there. So black was planning to play knight e4 at some point. So that's why Katerina decided to attack um, this bishop on d6, and now she can exchange everything, the knight, the bishop, and but again, it's a question whether this doubled pawns on the d file is a weakness. And actually, Katerina exchanges these doubled pawns by playing c4 because she was afraid black would just double on the c file and her pawn on c2 will become a weakness. But in fact, I think black's knight is not worse than white's bishop here, because pawns on d4, b4, and a3 right now are standing on the colors of this bishop. And yeah, black can easily attack it, while black's knight is very nicely placed on e4, and it can also get to c4 by d2. For example, knight d2, then knight c4. I mean, I like black's position more. f5 was a little bit aggressive, but that let white double the rooks, because bishop c7 was made with the idea of doubling the rooks on the c file. So it's a very funny way with what white is fighting for this open file,
Yeah.
where white first covers this open file with her bishop, and then behind it, as behind the shield, white is doubling her rooks. Uh,
There is this kind of strategical maneuver, I believe that is called. I don't remember how, but in some books it actually has a name, like blocking the line, the file like this for your rooks in order to be able to double the rooks there and to control the whole file.
Well, a very famous example on this topic, I'm not sure how it's called, but it's a Karpov Unsiker game in the
Yeah.
Ruy Lopez, where Karpov played bishop a7, covering the a file with the white bishop, and then doubling the rook on the a file. So it's the same idea, and we see that black somehow completely misplayed this part, and white's rook suddenly, via this closed c file, are going to attack, surprisingly, black's king. So that's why f5, f4 looked a little bit over optimistic, and actually it would have been better for black to find a way to close the c file with her knight. But now it's the game over, basically, practically. The game is over, yes, after this precise rook h5. Now bishop e5, a very beautiful small tactic, is possible, threatening to give a checkmate on h8. And the rook is hanging and checkmate is hanging. So it's 1-0. Quite an unfortunate result, giving taking in fact taking into consideration the fact that black was doing wonderfully, I mean, in the opening, middle game, and end game, and only misplaying, right, choosing the wrong plan, yeah, led them to such a disaster. Well, Katerina is leading 1-0, and she's very close to winning this tournament. And yeah, let's see how the second game goes. Now Gulnara in a must-win situation. She needs to win the second one to level the score, to get to the tiebreak match. It's not gonna be easy, of course,
Yeah.
but
Well, you know, it's
it's possible.
interesting.
Yeah.
I've been asking you who do you think will win the whole thing. You've been answering me, yeah, definitely Katerina. She's the favorite, and there is no doubt on that. But remember the games, there have been
Yeah,
so
she
many
had very tense
accidents.
matches with Daria Voigt. She was on the verge of losing several times. They went on to play the tie breaks, and of course, it was like a nerve-wracking match. And then her next match against Alina Zabevol is also didn't go that easy. And actually, look at this funny. Yes, move order. A3 is a force move A3. White is waiting for black's reply. Usually if black goes bishop c5, the knight takes e5 as possible. So it's kind of a tricky move. Wait and see move. And after d5, apparently white's idea was to play bishop b5. And now actually black did misplay somewhere in the opening. I'm not sure what they were supposed to do, but white got what they wanted. Now she can take on f6, and after queen takes f6, play d4, threatening to play d5 and bishop g5 and all kind of unpleasant moves. So just now she seems to be calculating knight takes e5, but I don't think it's the right direction to play. It's important. I think you can, I mean, show the positions that's currently on the board, because I'm not sure it's
Yeah,
showing.
yeah, yeah.
Kind
It's
of almost froze.
uh
Yeah,
huh. Yeah, there
this
we
is the
go.
position we're having now. White is taking her time. And yes, that's an important decision to take. And she does take on f6. which
Mm-hmm.
seems to be the right one. And yeah, Katerina almost kind of forced to take with the G pawn because in case after queen takes f6, white was going to play d4 anyway, and her pawn on e5 was um, losing. She was losing this pawn, this central pawn. That's why she took with the pawn to be able to protect it. But at the same time, you understand that g takes f6 is a huge commitment, right? Because there is no way. I mean, it's very scary now to castle short side with black. D takes c6. Was it the only move? Because I like I like the idea of retreating the bishop, because now I don't like what white did. She gave away her light squared bishop, and this bishop seemed to be very important in this position, because now look, b6, bishop a6, white doesn't have time to castle, and Gulnar misplayed. I mean, she had such a wonderful position, but this decision of taking on c6 and exchanging her bishop for the knight, poof, turned the tables around, and Black's position is more than okay right now. Queen e6 is coming. Yes, Katerina um, does not mind exchanging queens, and actually white had to exchange queens, but because right now it's not clear where to castle anymore. I mean, if she castle long side, if she castles queen side and queen a2, can be very unpleasant at some point. And well, white is in a big trouble. Suddenly, I mean, surprisingly, again, out of the opening, she tricked her opponent very nicely with this a3 move in the four knights opening. And Katerina did not react correctly, but now it just almost lost. Okay, queen c6, exchanging queens, getting into an endgame with a pair of two strong bishops. A very pleasant position to play. Now it's important, I think, to play bishop d7, yes, in order not to give white this possibility to blockade. Well, I'm sorry, but g4 just does not work. I think she wants to take on d7. She was hoping after rook takes g4 to play rook takes d7, but then rook g1 check. So rook g4 was possible. Katerina decided not to risk and played rook a4 and then h5. She thinks that this pawn will get lost sooner or later. But again, it's a big question. Why did not she take on g4?
Yeah. Well, the knight can still come to f5, hopefully to be activated somehow, or. But
Yeah, but in that case, I'm gonna take on f5, take on g1, take on f3, and it seems to be lost for white. Of course, there are some chances, theoretical chances, and you see white is trying to avoid exchanging pieces, try to keep her as many pieces on the board as possible, hoping for some counterplay, but it looks I doubt it's going to happen, especially after this f5 move, kind of securing the position. You see that desperate sacrifice, exchange sacrifice, rook takes d7, desperately trying to activate her pieces. That's the right way to proceed, definitely, to complicate things, but it's just not enough power, not enough potential in this position. Bishop d2 again. Trying to avoid exchanges, but then king e6, and what this knight is gonna do on f5, where it's gonna go. e3 is also very logical move, trying to release the pressure, trying to exchange as many pawns and pieces as possible, just trying to make this position easier. And then yeah, well, okay, rook g1, guys, it's over, it's over after this
ay,
exchange.
ay, 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 ay,
It's
ay,
just
ay.
over, yeah. No drama in this final, no
Ay, ay,
drama.
ay.
And big shout out to Katerina Lagno for winning yet another amazing Blitz tournament. It's a great win. It's been a tough run for Katerina, but she proved um, her being a favorite and a Blitz expert, a huge Blitz expert. So I think I'm gonna leave you now. I think you enjoyed. I hope that you enjoyed my commentary. I will leave Dina with the players, and with the final, with the grand finale. I might join you a little bit later on when Huga will present this song premiere. But if I don't join you, thank you so much, Dina, for this wonderful women's event. And as I said, well, congratulations to all the players, to Katerina. And as I said, I hope it's just the beginning. And we're gonna see many more events like this in the future.
Absolutely, Alexandra. That has been a total pleasure and honor having you here. Thank you for having joined us for the knockouts. And that was indeed an amazing experience for me to commentate together with you again. And we do hope to see you in some time later on today for the avant premiere of the song which you contributed together with Huga to make it. And in case if we don't see you, then we will definitely cross our paths very soon again. And so
Yeah,
for
indeed.
now, have a nice evening, and hopefully see you later on.
Yes, take care, guys. Play chess. See you soon.